going to show you how to set up a secondary system to support Blackboard. Now, the first thing you're going to say is you don't have time to learn new software, and that is totally understood. But this software will streamline everything you're doing in Blackboard. It'll make your grading easier and more efficient, and it will eliminate those student excuses, which we spend a lot of time on every single semester. All right, so let's check it out. Full grade center, and you can see I have a series of blue circles. Now if I scroll through, I actually have quite a few of these. What this means is that the file that I asked them to upload hasn't processed. There's nothing there for me to grade. So I don't know what is going on. It's just maybe in line at the server or something, because some of her files have uploaded, right? If I scroll through here, I will see that I have a number of these blue circles and I can't do my grading, basically. Now the other thing that I'm going to show you is here's another student who took a picture of her drawing on her phone and then she uploaded it, but her phone, the native file for the phone was a movie for some reason. So even if I download this file and try to open this, there's no way for me to see it. So I'm kind of stuck here, right? I can say I can email this student and I can reach out to them and say like, hey, there's a problem with your Blackboard account, or I can say, okay, let's just forget Blackboard. Why don't you just send me the files any way you can? But anything I do is asking them to do a ton of extra work, right? Like either get together with the Blackboard people, get their account figured out, send the attachments as images, and this actually happens to be one of my best students, so I don't really want to give them more work, right? And I also don't want this extra work for myself of trying to figure out, okay, when is this image going to process? How do I communicate with this student over email and let them know that even though whatever's on their phone looks like an image, it's not an image, it's a movie, and Blackboard can't read it. So today we're going to address that problem and streamline it. Exact same student whose images processed as movie files on Blackboard, and by having Slack as a supplementary program to Blackboard, you can see that I can talk with her immediately, right? So here's our conversation. Your work is rocking. All your files on Blackboard come out as movies. I guess because of your phone, but you've shared most of them here on Slack, so no worries because I can grade from here. She wrote back immediately, okay, I noticed it was doing that and I haven't really figured out how to change it yet, but I'll definitely look into it, thank you. Now, I don't want this to be, this is a drawing class. Like, I don't want her to be working on Blackboard all semester. So I simply wrote back and I said, don't try too hard, just send them to me in this chat so I can keep track of them and use this to grade them. So obviously Blackboard is centralized. It makes it really easy to calculate my grade. So I want things to work out on Blackboard, but I definitely don't want my drawing students to be, spending hours and hours every week trying to troubleshoot with tech support what's going on with their Blackboard. I'd rather just have the images and give them the grade. Cool, so this is a really positive experience. She's a great student. She's struggling with Blackboard, and now she has a backdoor. She can turn in assignments and get full credit for them, and nobody has to worry about it. If she, goes and figures out how to work with Blackboard in the future, that's fine, but it's not going to get in the way from her drawing and receiving a grade. Now, similarly, and I won't show you these to protect the innocent, but several of these conversations are people saying that the reason they can't turn things in is because their Blackboard is inaccessible or it's not working. And these conversations go totally similarly in those private chats with them. I just say, well, okay, well, just don't use Blackboard. Just turn it into me on a private channel, and then I can grade it from there. Now, the response in a few of these has been to send me unfinished projects or projects that weren't done, And basically I know that the student is hiding behind technical issues with Blackboard in order to extend their deadline or not work on the class for whatever reason, right? So we've eliminated excuses for students that are trying to take advantage. And the other thing that we've done is we have eliminated the extra work and the extra labor of having good students that just have a technological problem from turning in their assignments. So everyone has a direct line. It's really immediate, and Slack is on your phone. It's in your pocket, right? So when you so if you can't access Blackboard on your phone because the windows don't size correctly or whatever, every student can simply take a picture of their artwork and then upload it to this chat directly to me. Now, I wouldn't do all my grading this way because I like the way. I mean, obviously, Blackboard centralizes everything, and Blackboard keeps everyone's grades together. So, it's great if it works and that students can use it without a problem. That's great. But I also don't want to give extra work to students or stand in the way of grading or give students an excuse if Blackboard doesn't work. So this is essentially a redundancy, like a fail-safe system. If Blackboard isn't working for any reason, I say, okay, just go to my private channel and send me all the assignments there, and I'll grade from there, right? So we don't have to spend any time on it, not a single second. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is this is meant to be a group chat. So obviously, discussions are great here. If you have experienced Blackboard at all, you know that when you post a discussion and you require it for points, then students have to post these individual entries, and then you have to click into the individual entries in order to read them. But here's one of my discussions, and it's great because I have all my students for this class just on one scrollable strip. So I'm grading just participation in this discussion and that you answer the questions. And all I have to do is kind of scroll through this strip and then pop over to Blackboard and then just give them the points for jumping in, right? That's it. So I would say that in this one case, you never want to take the time to learn redundant software, but if the redundant software can serve as a fail-safe and eliminate students' excuses, make things easier and faster for you to grade, then I would say go for it. Okay, so how do you set up Slack? You just go to slack.com and you'll be guided through this wizard where you create a new workspace, right? It's completely free. You add your email and you would name your workspace, and you name your workspace the title of the class. Now, I'm not going to go through all this because I don't need a new workspace, but eventually you end up with an invitation link, and then you just put it in your announcements on Blackboard, and you say, okay, here is your Slack channel. Here's the Slack channel so we can all talk over the course of the term. And then anyone that has this link can just click on it and join the Slack channel immediately, right? So, so it's just incredibly valuable, especially if you're like me and you're sort of like, you have a participation component of your class, but you're sort of frustrated because, how do you know if people are participating? Slack is really easy. You can have it on your phone. You can have the class channels on your phone and just text immediately. And so one of my requirements is that you just share your drawings here. You share your drawings and you comment on each other's drawings. Now, this isn't like super accurately graded, but I just kind of scroll through here and I just check that people are jumping in and participating. And this to me is really the best software to create that kind of class community, friendship, creative support that we're missing in this semester, right? Just seeing like, people share their art and be supportive of one another. It's wonderful. I'm having people do an autobiographical comic. So, this is a little story about seeing an eel and having an emotional impact, right? And then the cool thing is that the students can respond, right? And I can just go right into this and say, that that was really clear and I really liked the emotion. I mean, this is drawing one, and for many of our students, this is like their first experience with art, right? Um, Gosh, beautiful stuff, right? It's really viewable. I can grade from here if Slack isn't working, and I can download this and do anything I want, which I'll probably, clean out the carpet background and dress this photo up a little bit. But because Slack is designed for mobile communication, it will never make a mistake with an image. Will always it'll just interface the phone, send the phone the best image format, and the phone and the application talk to each other, and you always end up with something that you can look at. You never have to send students to tech support. So that is the point, especially in a visual arts class. And gosh, if you're missing that feeling of class community and having conversations with students about their art, this is the best approximation to do that. Blackboard is wonderful. The Blackboard staff is wonderful, but it's hard to have that same sense of informal communication, class community, and creativity in Blackboard. And I think that if you add Slack to your class, you will recapture that as best we can for this semester. All right, that's it. I hope that this is valuable to you guys.